Okay, sorry about that. If we have to interface with the client, if I have to go out and meet with one of our clients, I would suggest that we wear something more appropriate and not jeans.
So follow-up to that is just dress in general as far as hair, tattoos, earrings, jewelry, men and women.
Okay, so you have to be professional. While some environments may allow jeans, we don't allow it in our office. And we have folks in warehouses and things like that, but they wear, Dockers or issue company pants. Because we believe that we need to look professional. And if they're in their warehouse, they're going to have those pants on. They're also going to have steel-toe boots and uniforms. So it's very important you have to look the part. You can't come out there if your pants are sagging, it's not going to happen, okay? Because customers don't want to do business with folks that don't look professional. We expect that in our environment. We expect the hair to be neatly groomed, of an appropriate length, color, fingernails. You have to be professional, and I know that you all are very intelligent folks, and you know what that looks like.
Okay, so here's a question on a little bit more the technical side. What if you're given an assignment that you really don't understand what the expectation is?
Good afternoon, I'm Baron Dale. I'm with the Architect of the Capitol. If you're given an assignment and you don't know what the expectation is, you would do the same thing you would do if you were in school, okay? Teacher gives an assignment, you don't know what it is, then you raise your hand, you ask questions. If it's difficult for you to really understand after that, then you got to do a little bit extra to figure out what it is. In school, you would get a little after-school help. You maybe get a friend who knows how to do that already and work with them until you get up to speed. At work, you do the same thing. You get a little bit of outside help. You may have to read online. You may have to go to somebody else. You may have to go get with a coworker to help you get up to speed. But what you have to do is you have to understand what the expectations are, and you have to meet them. So it's not acceptable to just not know and not do.
Anybody want to add to that? Okay, so this is about attendance and punctuality. My bus often comes late or doesn't come. Do I have to show up on time?
I might not be the right person to answer this question because I'm an old military guy, and which you're never late. So I had a guy tell me one time, said, if you have an excuse for being late, then you didn't get up early enough. The point he was making was, if you have a flat tire, you have to plan on having a flat tire. If you think your bus is going to be late, you have to plan on your bus being late. So you got to prepare yourself early by getting up a half an hour early, an hour early to catch that bus just in case the bus is late. So being on time is very important in the workplace. And occasionally you're going to be late, and that's okay, that's acceptable. But you have to have a better excuse than just, my bus is late. It's what did you do to plan in the event that your bus would be late. So always think about, all the extracurricular activities that you have to go through to get to work, and just plan ahead, and you won't have any problems with getting to work on time.
Okay, I collected a lot of cards, but I think some people were still writing questions. A lot of the questions were about Phelps High School or about career kind of questions, which we'll answer in a separate session. Does anybody else have any question about the employer expectations for interns that we didn't cover here? Would you all panelists, anybody want to add something that you think would be useful to the students that we didn't cover here?
If you're at Phelps High School and you're interested in interning, you can intern as a high school student at the Architect of the Capitol once you meet the age requirement. and you can intern as a college student. So I think that's important to know. Announcements go out online on USA Jobs for the architect of the Capitol at the end of December, January timeframe. So my advice would be to start looking for those opportunities at that time and not closer to summer. A lot of people try to wait to apply a month before they get out of school, and that's really too late. So look for those opportunities. Age requirement, I'm not sure, but we have 11th graders and 12th graders applying. So probably 16.
Do you guys have a question?
All right, my only advice to add, take advantage of all the people that you meet while you're in high school, and that'll only compound as you get into your college career and then into your actual professional career. And you have 5 people up on the panel here, 6. Sorry about that. You're not sitting, but you're technically up here too now. And we're just 6 of the many people that were here today. Take advantage of everybody that you meet. You have questions, reach out to us. There's a lot of things that we know, that we've learned, that we don't realize that we remember, that's something that you might have a question for that might seem like something hard for you, that we just know it. We just would be able to answer it quickly. So my only advice is just take complete advantage of everybody that you meet along the way, particularly here, because Phelps has such a great community for bringing in outside organizations that support the school fully.
I'd like to add one other note, and that is, so you guys have some great questions, and if you go back and talk about, being punctual, getting to work on time, whether or not you can listen to your music at work, these are good things to know. These are good things to ask before you step into your first role as an employer. Because you don't want to go to your first job and make that critical mistake and end up being dismissed because you didn't know. So the most important thing is always ask questions, so you know what the expectations are. Prepare yourself, and so that way you won't be successful. All right.
I think if I had a good piece of advice is to take it really seriously. Actually, I've had a lot of interns over the years, and a lot of those interns, not only in my current company but my previous company, are still employees of mine. So some of them interned with me when they were in college, and when they came out of college, they became full-time permanent employees. And some of them didn't. I probably have had, over the years, probably 10 interns. Out of those 10 interns, 4 of them have become employees. And the other 6 wanted to become employees, but they didn't take the internship very seriously when they had it. So really focus, try to do the best job that you possibly can. Make sure that you use your time wisely. If you're bored, figure out a way to either unboard yourself or make it seem as if you have some level of interest, or to challenge yourself as my colleague had just.
If you see a way to do something better, do it. Try it. Never stop learning. Always make a contribution. You don't realize the impacts that you're going to have in the little things that you do. Take advantage of those opportunities, because you will have many, and you will be remembered for the right reasons.
Okay, there's another question that I forgot to ask that's a frequently asked question, which is how much do interns get paid?
Upwards of $12 an hour at the architect of the Capitol, so it's a pretty good. That's pretty good pay for the summer. So.
So I think one thing that I'd like to say about the pay part is some internships are unpaid, some are paid, some are $12 an hour, some are more. The more serious you are, you heard the panelists basically talk about what kind of things they look at. The more serious you are, the more dedicated you are, the more likely you're going to be the kid to get the higher paid internship rather than the unpaid internship. So keep that in mind as you focus on your studies. And I think we'll conclude the panel unless anybody else has another question. We'll go to the induction so that all of these academy students.
It was entertaining because you were talking about how you're supposed to dress going to work. He said earrings and stuff. What about like guys' earrings? Because I know women wear earrings.
Can you come up here and just
Yeah,
give
so
me
we
the
can,
microphone?
so everybody can hear.
So I was just asking for like, because I have earrings, and I was just asking, would that be okay if I wore my earrings to work? Because I like wear hoops and stuff.
Anything that will take away from the focus on you and your work it would not be appropriate. Some people will allow earrings, some people won't. It depends on what company you go to. But the important thing to note is when you're dressing, you need to find out what your customer expectations are, and you need to meet them. Most people aren't going to give you 2 minutes to figure out that you're a great and smart person. They're going to look at you, make that determination in 2 seconds, and then move on to the next person. So you want whatever image you're portraying to reflect the work that you are doing. So if earrings are part of the job and you're selling earrings, then that may be appropriate. If you're not selling that, okay, if you're not focused on that, and that's not what your job is, you want to be dressed so that you can represent whatever product, or whatever business that you're doing. So that's when you're dressing for success. We have tradespeople, we have professional engineers. My carpenters don't wear suits and ties. They wear boots and they wear protective clothing. They may wear safety glasses and hard hat. That's what's required of them when they do their job. And so when people see them, they immediately know that's a carpenter. I have a question. Can you help me with this? When they see me as an architectural engineer and I'm dressed like this, then they will give me the respect to ask the question, and they will respect my answer when I give it to them. And so you just need to know what your customer is expecting, and you need to dress appropriately so that you can deliver the best service.
If there are like any, I would say, internships for like freshmen, like myself.
Who said
No. Uncle Joe's Crab Shack. No, at the Architect of the Capitol, for freshmen, I don't believe there are any paid internships, but I do work on Capitol Hill, and there are unpaid internships in other organizations that may not have our same age requirement, unfortunately, I don't know.
Do any of you work with freshmen? So we got another comment in the meantime about, Luca talked about keeping your connections and reaching out to people as you meet people throughout your lifetime. So the question comes up about when you finish the internship to make sure that you thank the people who you work for, get a letter of recommendation, especially when you're going towards college applications. It's really good, your employers are really good recommendation letter writers because they know really a lot about who you are, beyond just the academic side. So have any of you guys had experience with that in terms of writing letters of recommendation?
I actually had one of the interns that worked for me for, I guess, one summer about 3 years ago. He ended up going into grad school and then applying for a National Academy of Science Foundation grant. And I've been writing letters for him pretty much every year for the last 3 years. And he didn't want to go into construction, it turned out. He did a great job while he was with us. It was successful because he found what he didn't want to do, which is also an important question. But he has stayed in contact ever since. Like anytime I go, he went to the University of Pittsburgh, so anytime he knows that I'm heading to Pittsburgh, he actually reaches out to me and says, hey, can we get lunch? Because he wants to find out just what's happening in my life as much as I care to find out what's in his. And he'll never work for me again, but he has slowly become a friend. And when I write these letters for him, I mean, they're heartfelt, they're true, and they absolutely have furthered his career. And I'm not the only one he does it with. He's worked at a couple places, so it's a huge benefit to have that in your back pocket.
Anybody else want to speak to that? Are you guys ready for a raffle? Okay. We're going to switch to order of events. And first I'd like everybody to give a nice round of applause for our panelists. Okay, and after the raffles, we'll do the induction.